manager, you want some more information from best practice, you've been following us for a while. Hi, my name's Kobe Simmet. I'm right here in the Best Practice studio as we go live on our Wednesday live stream. Sorry we're running late today. We've had a huge day, had executive meetings. I've been working with my managers, I've been working with my team all day, trying to be a better manager. So what we thought we'd do today was talk about how to be a better manager. We're getting a ton of comments and a ton of information coming in from the people subscribing to our online training academy. So people jumping on the online training academy, we'll put the link below. So click the link below if you want to know what's going on in the training academy. But people are coming in and they're saying, I want some more personal development. So today what I thought I could talk to you about is maybe some of the things I've been doing today as a CEO with a team of almost 40 people. So that's my team here that are helping me at Best Practice. They're here, they're all over this particular country, they're in other countries. And I think what I've been doing today is a couple of things. So in terms of, I guess, working backwards on my two top tips, I guess, for today as to how to be a better manager. The first one is, what's the number? Now for me today, I've been looking at numbers and I've been saying, okay, the resources I've got in my team, what are the numbers I'm trying to achieve? Now, as a manager, I think it's important to remember once you become a manager, if you're not already, is that you're spending money, you're investing money each day with your team. So there's 40 odd people that are being paid money to do tasks. We all come together around money. So part of that is obviously the top line revenue of the business. We go to the customer, we provide a product or a service, we provide you with a product or service. You might have bought a product from our online training store. Now that money, it comes in through my pockets, but it comes straight out of my pocket and it goes to my team's pocket to pay for their salaries, their rent, all those other bits and pieces that are part of their life. So from a manager's perspective, sometimes we forget that what we're actually doing is we're paying for production. So there's been things going on here. If I work my way through the office and think about what people have been doing today, we've been producing new material. We've been producing ebooks, we've been producing training courses, we've been producing Instagram posts, we've been producing LinkedIn posts. We've been closing down one of our regional offices where we're doing a fit out and we're moving location. We're moving from one location in Melbourne in Australia to another location. So today we've been working through and closing that. So someone's been project managing that. Down here we've got our sales team. I've been watching Hugh today here in the Sydney office, here in Sydney, Australia. He's been walking around and he's been making phone calls. He's been pacing up and down as he's calling and talking to clients. We've got Caitlin, she's been working to keep the data in our clients, in our customer database clean. We've got Woodsy down the end of the office. He's working on a project with systems development and improving our internal processes. We've got our accountant here, she's doing accountant stuff and she's counting all the beans. And we've got our COO who's working with the production part of our team. I've just come out of an executive meeting where we're looking at the numbers. We're talking about production numbers. We're talking about objectives and targets. So I think the first thing in terms of becoming a better leader or becoming a good leader is to start to ask questions about what's the number, what's the measure, I guess, of productivity from each of your people. And Jack's right behind the camera with me right now, and we said this morning the most important thing we can do today is to produce our ebook. And that's it's one of the many ebooks we've got, but it's a new ebook that we're launching. It's going to be a paid product. It's a product that's going to sit inside our training academy, and it's all about how to develop and implement and maintain a management system, and that's our best tips and tricks to do that. It's going to be a $200 product. It's going to be available very shortly. Yes, this is a veiled sales pitch. That's what I'm doing. It's social media. So, however, we said this morning the product's almost finished. Let's get it out. Let's get it nailed. Let's get it finished today. So the product itself, it's high quality, and we just need to do that final polish and that final push to get the thing done and out the door. We've been working on it for months. It's amazing. So I think that's really important. So the second tip I've got, the first tip is obviously about numbers, thinking about the number that you want to achieve, that everybody's got that number, that metric, not a key performance indicator, not an indicator of performance, an actual number, an actual target for the day, something to do each day. And it's your role as a manager to actually maximize the opportunity out of that situation with that person and maximize their productivity. And in the same process, tip number 2 is we want to have fun and we want to be happy while we're doing that. So we've had quite an upbeat, lively culture and a lively feel to the office all day today. Some couple of crazy jokes. We've had, a few people had lunch together in our staff kitchen. And I think it's important, the second part of that is you've got to bring, as a manager, and if you're not a manager yet, or if you are a manager, every single day you've got to show up and bring a positive tone in every day. You have to be the most positive, happiest person in the room. So to be a successful manager, without a doubt, that's the number one thing that I think is most important in terms of becoming a manager or being a manager. You have to be the positive person. Now, if you're not a positive person, you need to suck that up and go and figure out how you become a more positive person. So to be a successful manager, it's without a doubt, you can't be a negative person. You've got to be an optimistic person, and you've got to be coming to the relationship with your colleagues, with your employees, with your staff, with your team, with that really positive mindset, that really optimistic mindset, and that view to achieving those great goals into the future. So I want you to be thinking about those two things. So everybody's got a number, and then bringing that really optimistic mindset. And you see me do that. I had a great conversation with one of our fans of Best Practice. They had some issues with our training academy and logging into it today, and I called them and I spent about half an hour on the phone with them talking through, and she's like, oh my God, you're a gun. How do you get so much energy? How have you got so much stuff going on? And from my perspective, it's because I'm passionate and I'm motivated about the job I have. I have made the job I've got from scratch, created it completely. I'm not somewhere that I sort of accidentally went to. I'm in a place where I really love helping you. I want to help you. I want to help you in our training academy. I want to help you on our YouTube channel. I want to help you via our website. I can do that. And she got really concerned. She's like, I'm consuming so much of your content for free and I haven't paid you for any of that stuff. And I'm like, that's okay. Am I helping? She's like, yes, you are. And I'm like, that is my vision. That's my mission, is to help you guys. So I get a great sense of pride out of hearing comments from you guys. So comment below if there's something that we've done or we've talked about that's been thought-provoking for you, where as you've been watching Best Practice, as you've been consuming our content. So have you checked us out on Instagram? Have you found me on Instagram? Because I'm posting some stories. You'll get the good stuff as I'm coming to work, as I'm driving, a ton of the great quotes. And also go and see if you can find Best Practice TV, the company page on Instagram. Go and check out LinkedIn. So Alexi is doing a huge amount of great work on LinkedIn with our LinkedIn page. I'd like you to go and check that out. We've got about 2,000 followers, so we're looking for more followers on our LinkedIn company page. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and see what I'm posting or what the team's helping me to post. And also, don't forget to grab your free copy of Certified Magazine out of our training academy. So we'll drop the links below after I finish this live stream. We'll drop that. I'm going to be finished in a second. So drop the link below in our description to jump onto our training academy and get our free magazine. There's 4 issues of our magazine there. You can jump on and you can grab that stuff. So that's been Making Time for Improvement. If you're loving what we're doing here at Best Practice, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. And if I've inspired you and your day and you're feeling a little bit more productive, please copy the link and share it with your friends and family and your colleagues and say, go check out Best Practice. We've got lots of great advice for everybody in terms of what's going on here at Best Practice. Lots of great advice for everybody. If there's a question or if there's something that you want answered, hit me up. Comment below. I look at all of the comments. This is the post. This live post, it hasn't gone out to everybody. It's just to you, our subscribers here on LinkedIn. So hit the comments below. If you've got a question for me, I will go through and I will look at all the questions. And so I've been given something.
Cullen Haynes.
Right, Cullen Haynes. How much time per week, per month would you recommend the team putting together a new ebook educational material versus selling said material? Cullen, I think definitely if you're putting together that educational material, you might say have a, let me think here, about a 10% putting together the material and then 90% getting that material out there. So whether you're going to share that material or whether you're going to distribute that material through free content, I think you want to be spending 10% of your month, for example. Look, I think that'd be a good ratio, producing one piece of really good quality written content per month and then spending the rest of the month disseminating that information, because that information's no good if you spend too much time producing it and having it sit there, sit there in your system. And we've got we've got so much information we produce here at Best Practice, and our biggest weakness is we don't distribute it. So the team will put it together, it'll be half finished, and it'll sit in a project folder and not get out there. So I think 10% of the month producing the content. Now the reason for that is this saying that goes, perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So if you were to produce a great piece of ebook material, if you like, once a month, then you're going to produce 12 pieces over a year. The 12th one that you do is going to be far superior to the first one. And I think people get too caught up. I'm just going to produce one, it's going to be really high quality, tweak it, improve it, and it never goes out to people. So you want to get more and more people reading your material, giving them more and more great material, educating them around what you do. And I know you've got a great business with what you're doing, so I want you to be thinking about that, thinking about what it is that I can do to educate my clients, educate the people I'm working with, and then be investing the time in disseminating that message. It's a great opportunity. Hey, we just produced this new ebook. Jump on the phones and start contacting people and say, hey, I've got this new piece, I've got this new ebook. I want to basically send it to you. What's the best email address? And that's a really great excuse to make a phone call and increase your follow-up, increase your touch points with your clients. I think that's a fantastic opportunity. So if you are producing that, then go ahead and do that.
Howdy ho.
Okay, howdy ho. You can promote that material while you're producing it. That's exactly right, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're producing content right here. We'll turn this into written content, and we'll be disseminating that via email. So you're exactly right. You can definitely promote it while you're producing it, and that's what we've been doing. We've been doing our webinars. We do our live monthly webinars. We produce that content, and then we send it out. So that's not what this post is about. The post was obviously being a great leader and how to be a better manager with your team. So I want you to think about that. Everyone's got a number, and if it is about producing material, what's that number? So what's the number of pieces of material that you want to get out? And then also I want you guys to be thinking about how do you bring a really positive, upbeat tone to your team, to your office, to what you're doing every day, and that's really, really important. And so the way I do that, just one of my tactics, is I make sure that every morning I do some exercise and I go for a walk, and it's really important for me to go for that walk to clear my head so I don't bring any baggage from the previous day. I'm not thinking about something that might upset me for too long, and it gives me the opportunity to just get out into the environment and just say, you know what, hey, this is amazing, I'm alive, I'm having a great life. And then I think about, what does my ideal week look like? What does my ideal day look like? And each night I sit down and I say, tomorrow's a new day. What does my ideal day look like? And I plan that day. And there's tons of people out there saying, plan your day, write your planner, set your schedule. I've got meetings booked, weeks, months in advance. So my days are pretty locked in between sort of, the business hours of the day with meetings and bookings and my team trying to get my time. So I don't have a lot of control except to getting ahead of myself. And I've really got to be thinking a month from now, what does my ideal day look like? But for you guys, if your day is not booked solid with meetings, tomorrow, the next day after that, start thinking ahead in your calendar. Look in your calendar and say, what does my ideal day look like? What would I, just dreaming, imagine what your ideal day looks like and plan one of those. You've got 7 days in any given week. Take the opportunity and say, right, what does my ideal day look like? So as you become a better manager, if you are seeing and giving yourself some gratitude, I guess, for having the ideal day set out, and you've got, so next Saturday, you've got the weekend coming up, plan what the ideal Saturday looks like. Plan what the ideal Sunday looks like. I'm looking forward to this Saturday. I'm going to a great lunch. It's sort of a networking event. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be hanging out with some really amazing people. There's going to be some beautiful food, and that for me is my ideal day. I'm blending work and meeting people and meeting friends, hanging out with my family. It's all going to be at the one place. So that's, for me, that's an ideal Saturday. Bit of a flexible day. It's not meeting, a little bit social. I'm really looking forward to it. That's my ideal Saturday. And the ideal Sunday that I've got coming up is going to be just some one-on-one quality time with my family. So, or group, family on family, if you like, with my type family. So I think that's really important for you guys to be thinking about. Now, Monday, what's your ideal day look like? Your ideal day might be a 5-minute catch-up with all your team members. So as you're becoming a manager or starting to lead a team or interact with a team, what does that look like? If you're not yet a manager of people, then start thinking about, okay, my manager that I'm with, how do I help them achieve their ideal day or them achieve their ideal week? So going in and saying, look, what are the 3 most important things you want me to get done this week? I've got all the stuff I'm working on, but for you, how can I help you? And start managing up, if you like. Okay, any more questions? What am I reading at the moment? I'm actually reading a dictionary. So I bought this week, I thought I'd just break it all up. I've consumed tons of great content recently on sales, on management, on leadership, and a whole bunch of stuff. This week, as crazy as it might sound, I've picked up 2 dictionaries, the Oxford Concise Dictionary and the Macquarie Concise Dictionary. And this week, I'm going to be reading 2 dictionaries, and I'm just going to be going through and looking at the meanings of words and trying to expand my vocabulary. I'm a professional communicator. There's lots of words. I want to be using words that maybe are more synonymous with the words that you use. So this week, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. I've already had a lot of fun at lunchtime I had a small break and I had a bite to eat and spent some time with my team just randomly picking words out of the dictionary and reading out the definitions. We had a bit of a laugh. So this week, I'll have that knocked off in the next couple of days. I've got a couple of other books that I'm reading this week. Principles by Ray Dalio. Principle by Ray Dalio. That's a really interesting book. And then I've got, I can't remember the author, but I've got another book there that's just come in called Bark Skins. So those are the books. If you've got a book recommendation for me, post in the comments. I can see the comments coming in there. I've been given a laptop now for the live post, so I'm going to have a look at that in a second and read some more comments. But so those are the books I'm reading, and this is all about being a better manager, I guess, and looking at all the interlinking bits and pieces. Okay. Helder, my name's Helder from, I assume, SA means South Africa. I'm implementing 9001 and 45001 for a very small company that sells OHS to clients. Do you perhaps have any implementation guide on integrating both systems? Yes, I do. Tools of Titans, Cullen, yes, I've read that. Absolutely, Tools of Titans. That is dead set the best book. I think that's the 2018 book of the year for me. But let me answer Helder's question. So, Cullen, you can see our book review in issue 3 of Certified, which is free, available on our Training Academy. So maybe Jack, if you could drop the link there for the Training Academy. Helder, yes. When linking ISO 9001 and 45001 together, yes, Hugh, Grant Cardone, 10X, another great book. So hey, you guys, while I'm just covering Helder's question there, would you mind actually, for those of you that are watching, do me a favor, just put what you're reading right now. So drop that in and just say what you're reading. Tell me the books you're reading and I'll see if I've read it. Okay, Helder. Have I got any guidance for integrating both together? Yes, I do. Both those standards, ISO 9001 and ISO 45001, they are risk management standards. Risk management standards for managing quality, which is customer satisfaction. So what are your customers' expectations? What are your customers' promises you're making? And then from an ISO 45001, what are the OH&S promises you make? What are the commitments? So you'll have a quality policy and a safety policy, and you're making promises about what you're doing to help customers in quality and what you're doing to manage workplace health and safety and maybe your public liability. They're both risk management systems. The ISO standards are intended to be a guidance or standard to help you to implement your business plan. So Helder, it's really important for that small business that you're working with to link the objectives of the business plan for financial, for marketing, for sales, for finance, to OHS, to customer promises, linking them all together and having a risk management system in place. And the best place to start linking those things together is with management review. That's talked about at the end of the standards. So for those of you that haven't sort of followed the clauses of the ISO standards that we use to help write strategic plans and business plans for organizations and help them write systems and processes and policies and procedures, or do the assessments against those, because we can come and do a best practice assessment and see where you're at. And that's the core business that we have here at Best Practice. So for those of you that are doing that, to answer Helder's question, is you start with management review, or what I would call strategic planning. And it's really important, Helder, to make sure you're doing that on a quarterly basis. So setting that business up in their diary, in their calendar, the key influencers in that small business, to be setting up and ensuring that they book 4 quarterly meetings to do their off-site strategic planning to work on their business. So quality is all about customer satisfaction. Safety, 45001, OH&S is all about staff safety, if you like, or employee safety, or workplace safety, supplier safety. So what I want you to think about is I want you to really be thinking about booking in those quarterly sessions and asking these 4 questions. Now, everybody listen up, because these 4 questions are really important for you personally, and they're really important for any organization you're part of. If you're a manager or being a manager, these 4 questions that I'm about to cover are really important. The first question is, now, before I go into the first question, I'm going to create a bit of tension. Remember, it's about stopping quarterly and having a session to work on yourself, to do your planning, or to work on the business, or work on the team. If you're a manager and you've got a team of 2 or 3 people, or if you're a manager like me, you've got 40, or if you're a manager of people that's got 50, 100, 2,000, 10,000, 75,000, sitting down and actually taking this time to work on the team is really important. So, 4 questions. What are the questions? Here they are. Here they come. The first question is in thinking about the next 12 weeks, what does success look like? What's your objective? What's your goal? What's your dream for the next 12 weeks? You're keeping it really simple. In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what could go wrong? What could prevent you from achieving those goals? What other things could come in from the left field and actually stop you achieving your goal? In thinking about the last 12 weeks, what went wrong? So in thinking about the next 12 weeks, what does success look like? In thinking about the next 12 weeks, what could go wrong? In thinking about the last 12 weeks, what went wrong? And those two, number 2, number 3, they're risk management traditionally. And then the last question, which is the most important question, is, and what are you doing about that? What are you doing about your goals? What are you doing today, tomorrow, and the next day to achieve what success looks like, to achieve your goals? Literally, the meeting I just came out of was all about what does success look like? What are you doing about the things that could go wrong? What are you doing about that? What are you doing to prevent the things going wrong so you will achieve your goals? What are you doing about the things that went wrong, and can you prevent those things happening again? So it's what are you doing about that? It's really, really, really important. Look, the reality is everything here, we are ultimately all brought together by money. We're basically trying to learn a little bit more so we can earn more money, so we can protect the money we've got to manage the organizations. I am not sitting here giving you reviews of holiday destinations. I am sitting here giving you business advice. I'm a business coach. I'm a business improvement specialist. I'm a process improvement specialist. I'm a professional communicator. That's what I do. We're talking about money. We're talking about protecting money, making more money. So it's important to be thinking about what success looks like. It's like protect the money or it's make more money. It's one of the two, if that makes sense. So I want you to be having that conversation. Maybe you could start as a leader, as a manager with your team, either the people above you or the people below you or the people around you. Have the conversation about money. Have the conversation so that people understand it. Have a think about what the goals need to be. And for those of you that mentioned 10X, I think Hugh Hall, who is watching, mentioned 10X by Grant Cardone. He says, whatever goals you've got, multiply them by 10. Does that make you excited? Because it makes me excited when I think about my goals. I've got a really itchy nose today for some reason. Okay, so Cullen, yep, 12 rules for life. Thank you for that recommendation. I'm going to go and grab that. Jack Hammond, thanks for helping me today. So that's been a great live stream today with us here at Best Practice TV. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to try and do more of these. I'm going to try and get a few more out per week. We've got a couple of great webinars out. We've got our great ebook being launched. So if you want to know how to build a management system, that management system is there to help support your business plan. If you want to know how to build a management system, systems, processes, and process flows to have your team more organized, more productive, and stay in maybe some controls so they'll achieve your objectives and promises. And maybe you've got a compliance part to your business. Look out for that. It's going to be launching very soon. If you're not on our email list, jump across to bestpracticeeducation.com.au. There's a link there to grab a copy of Certified. You can jump across over there, hit the big blue button, and get your email address into that system so you get the great email content that we send out. And I don't talk about that very much, but it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. So Grain Brain. Okay, yes, actually I've heard about that. So yes, Grain Brain. So anybody else watching, if you watch this after the live stream, keep commenting what books you're reading. I'm looking for book recommendations. You know that I read a lot of books here. You know I'm getting through between 3 and 5 a week. You know that there's couriers turning up to our office every single day delivering books, because that's my job, to try and consume as much knowledge as possible so I can share it with you. So if you haven't found me on LinkedIn, it's at Kobe Simmet. If you haven't smashed the like button here on this video, do it for me right now. If you haven't copied the link and shared it with your colleagues because they need to see what's going on at Best Practice, do that for me. Hit the subscribe button and I will see you right here live on Best Practice TV. Bye for now.